What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm calling it the channel because at the time that I'm starting this video, termite has been sold. It's at its new home on the coast. And we've yet to decide on what we're going to call the channel. So I'm just going to say welcome back to the channel right now. So after we sold termite the other day, which was a very, very sad moment, Andrew was crying, the kids were... It was tough, but it went to a fantastic couple, and it is being pampered and spoiled beyond measure at this moment. Well, after we left there, we took a ride on over to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and I have been needing a work truck. I've been needing a truck that I can just throw stuff in the back. As you know, I'm a painter, and I need a full 8-foot bed. I need to be able to get in and out without, I don't want to trash my Gladiator with paint and caulk and sheetrock mud and all that kind of stuff. And the bed cover on my Gladiator makes it too, like a ½ inch too narrow to fit a 4-foot wide piece of sheetrock or plywood or anything. And I can't have that because I go and haul that kind of stuff all the time. So I was looking for just a good, cheap work truck that was cool and that would serve all these purposes and just be a work truck. That's all it is. I went and looked at this truck and it was smoking when I crunk it up, and I didn't know that till we drove all the way down there, saw that it was smoking, all that kind of stuff, and was a little bit bummed out and ended up not buying it. First time I've ever went and looked at a vehicle and didn't buy it. But the whole way home I was like, I should have bought that truck. It's too good of a deal, too cheap. The rest of the truck's super clean. Anyway, so after we sold termite, we were already halfway there, so we went on and bought it. So I have purchased a 1994, that's the first year of the second gen body style, 1500, 4-wheel drive, regular cab, long wheelbase. These are, in our area, hard to find. It is hard. This is what I wanted. I wanted regular cab, long wheelbase, 4-wheel drive. I didn't care if it was automatic or standard. That wasn't really anything picky to me. And diesels are pretty expensive, so I was kind of expecting a gas burner. This is a 318, but I wanted these wheels. This is what I wanted. I wanted this truck. I didn't want a white truck because I have a white Gladiator. Andrew has a white Jeep. This thing's gonna be white. So I wanted something with some color, sliding back glass. But it hails from Frederick, Maryland is where it's from originally. Bought it from the guy whose grandpa bought it brand new. And interior is pretty darn clean, that's the only thing. Dash has already been rebuilt. As you know, these dashes are bad about going out. Manual windows, which is awesome, but just a really, really clean truck. I mean, honestly, at the moment, it's absolutely filthy. His yard was live oak trees, and it's been sitting on the live oaks for sale for weeks. So it is a filthy, filthy truck on the outside. And as bad as I want to wash it, I want to wash it so bad because I know it's going to clean up and be really good looking. We got to fix it first. So the truck is smoking. Let me find my light. The truck does smoke. Not horrible, but it does have a little blue smoke coming out. And he told me it is using oil. If you know second gens that have these Magnum engines, you probably know what I know and what it probably is. And that's going to be Plenum gasket. So the Plenum gasket on these is notorious for going out. I've had 2 other second gen trucks, and one of those I did a Plenum gasket kit on. The other one was super low miles when I sold it, but it's not a bad job, but it is the bottom of the intake, so the intake's got to come off. I am hoping that's gonna fix it. I'm not in denial here. I'm not naive. The truck has 188,000 miles on it. It may burn a little oil. I'm hoping it's not rings. I'm hoping it's not anything worse than that. The PCV, probably, I'm gonna replace the PCV. I'm gonna replace the breather, change the oil, give it a tune up. We're gonna do all that kind of stuff. But I think the main culprit is the plenum. The way you know this, and I'll show it to you once I get it out and get it shaped better, but you open the throttle plates and look down in there, and if you see oil, if you see puddles of oil, that's what it is. And sure enough, we got it home and there's puddles of oil. The truck was about almost 3 hours away. We flat towed it home with a Gladiator. That was the first time I ever done that. That was not too bad. But we flat towed it home because I didn't want to risk driving it that far with it doing like it was doing. But yeah, it had these pawpaw steps on it. I took them off immediately. And it's going to be a good looking truck. So I have the Plenum kit order from Hughes Engines. That will be here tomorrow. So tonight, I'm tired. I've been going all day. But I'm just going to start tonight just kind of pulling off some of the stuff right here on top and just kind of get started on removing everything. Probably not going to film anything because it's not really anything to it. I'm just going to get the throttle body off and just kind of start unhooking some things here and get down to that intake. But yeah, it's a clean motor. He just had all the AC redone. I'm hoping it's going to be a good truck. If my thoughts are, if I can get a year or two out of this motor, I mean, more would be better, but if I get at least a year or two of running and pulling my trailer and doing all this kind of stuff, I will say I have got my money's worth out of it. And we'll more than likely at that point just put a new long block in it. These second gens are one of my favorite body styles. I love this body style. This is just such to me, the regular cab, long wheelbases, 4-wheel drive, second gens have just always been such cool trucks. So it's kind of one that I definitely could see sticking around and just being what it is. So anyway, all right, that's a super long intro, but I'm going to get to pulling some parts off, and next time I see you guys, we'll be probably getting closer to pulling the intake off, and I'll show you what a plenum gasket going bad actually looks like. All right, y'all, I think we're ready to pull the intake. I think. We'll find out. Got all the intake bolts out. It should want to come forward. I think the EGR is attached to it. I read that the 94s, which is what this one is, that the EGR back here is actually attached to the intake. So it don't look like it is, but apparently it is somehow. I think it's just by the hose, the pipe. So, okay, yeah, I see now. So there's the pipe that comes off the EGR that goes to the exhaust manifold on this side. Whew, all right, that was not too bad. It's got a small little, probably 3/8 or 10 millimeter on this side where it bolts into the manifold. I can look at that and tell that little bolt ain't coming out. But the tube goes into the back of the intake is a 7/8 wrench. And I had to get it on there from up here and then come around to the side where I could actually get some leverage. But once I broke it, it come on out. So, all right, now the leaves, I've vacuumed and blown leaves as much as I can, but there's probably still gonna be some fall in. We'll just have to clean them out. Yeah, lots of leaves. Whew. Well, you see I got a pile of leaves in there, but the sludge and varnish is not nearly as bad as I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting like bad, but that actually don't, for a motor with 188,000 miles, that don't look too bad. All right, let's flip this thing over. See if we got any gasket poking out. Gasket on the bottom of an aluminum intake. Actually still have our gasket. It does look like maybe it was bypassing though. Right up under the runners it's got oil, so it hadn't blown the gasket out yet, but under the runners it was definitely sucking it through. You can see there it's gotten past the middle back here. But I think it's also been doing this for a long time. Well, we don't need this no more. So now I get to clean the intake. I'm gonna get my vacuum over here and suck all these leaves up. And we'll just be cleaning here for a little while. We'll get this cleaned out, get this cleaned out. My parts will be here today and we start putting this thing back together. I had to go inside and get some water. Sit down for a minute. It's still a little warm. It's a bummer today. I say a bummer, but 1 year ago today, I was on day one of the Smoky Mountain 500. It was cold and rainy up in the Smokies, and I was fighting for my life on those trails, trying to figure out where I was going and just having a ball. It's one of those trips that in the moment I was like, you know, kind of stressed a little bit, just, you know, with the ride. But then now looking back, I'm like, man, that was one of the funnest times of my life. But so 1 year ago today, I was doing that. Today, I'm doing this. But I'm gonna get the degreasing this intake, and I'm finna pull the PCV valve. I got a new one. I got a new breather, a new PCV as well. I'm gonna pull that off and see what that thing looks like. It's buried in all that mess right there. Excuse me. I got all this vacuumed up, cleaned up. Hopefully there's no acorns or leaves that fell down in the back there, but if they did, they'll just get ground up, I guess, and hopefully we'll never see or hear from them again, but who knows. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna pull that PCV out. Let's see if it rattles. I'm gonna guess it probably won't, maybe. We'll see. Oh, these trucks are the motors are so far in. Still rattles. Not completely stopped up, but you can tell it's gunky. I got a new one of those, got a new breather. So, yeah. I can see one leaf back there in the back, but I don't know if I can get to it. It fell down behind that cam gear. I'm gonna have to put something in the valley here so I can get all this stuff, the gasket off, and get to cleaning all this up. But I was curious about that PCV. I'm gonna clean the throttle body. You can see it's pretty disgusting. We'll hit it with some old barium in here, clean the top and bottom. That's cool. But yeah, it's disgusting down in there. So we're gonna get this throttle body all cleaned up. Got the intake out there cleaned up pretty good. Got it drying in the sun, and we'll get this done now. All right, y'all, with the plates on, everything's torqued down. Got all my surfaces cleaned. Just went over them with a wire wheel and then a Scotch-Brite just to kind of clean them up a little bit. The instructions give you the torque sequence, and as it says here, if you want this to fail, disregard this step. So it's fairly important because you are looking for a really flat. You get to tightening randomly, you can warp things. So just go by that torque sequence, and it was 48 inch-pounds to begin with, and then 84, and then a recheck with 84. So, and did blue Loctite on each one of the bolts. So this is ready to go. The intake is ready to put back in, but I gotta still get under the hood and clean the heads and get the old gasket material off the heads and kind of get the valley, kind of any of the little sludge that was in there. I want to get that out and do a little cleaning in there, just kind of checking over vacuum lines, and you know, while I can see everything in the back there, make sure everything's all right. So I'm gonna do that later this afternoon, and hopefully tonight, before we call it a day, I can have the intake back in. Obviously I can't work on it all day. It's first thing in the morning. I'm gonna have to head out, but when I get back in this afternoon, we'll do that and hopefully get the intake bolted and torqued back in before we call it a day. Well, guys, she cleaned up good, as you can tell. And it's actually been a couple of weeks since the last video you saw, since the last shot you saw. I got the intake back on it and started driving it, and actually been driving it probably 50, 60 miles a day, just about every day, back and forth to work. Pulls the trailer great. But just to get back up, after we got the intake on, got it washed. It's, like I said, it's dusty now because I'm on the house has got a long dusty driveway, but the truck really cleaned up good. You can see I got scaffold walk boards and stuff all in the back already, but the inside is clean. We got a little tear there, but other than that, just a good work truck. The big thing, has it quit smoking? Well, yes and no. Yes, in a sense that it's not smoking nearly like what it was doing. It's not a constant smoke. It doesn't smoke first thing in the morning like valve seals would do. The only time that I see smoke is when it's been run for a good while and the motor's good and hot, and I go to take off, it puffs a little blue smoke, just a little bit when I accelerate. And I don't mean like a puff, 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 puff. I mean just a puff on that initial acceleration. And that's only after it's good and hot, good and warmed up. But then, let's see, Friday, when I was coming home, it didn't smoke at all. The normal red lights that I take off from, back roads, stop signs, it never smoked. So, I don't know. But it definitely runs so much better than it was when we first got working on it. Runs good, shifts good, the rest of everything is great. I did put a new PCV in it from just a parts store. I think it was I don't know. I don't remember what brand it was, just Parts House, $3 PCV. I did swap that. I ordered a Mopar PCV for it. There is a difference in the quality when you have the, I'll actually show you because I ordered a couple of them, one for date night and one for this. But I put a new PCV in there thinking maybe that was the, it didn't really change the smoking, didn't really change anything about the truck. But, you know, I think OEM stuff is always going to be a little bit better. But, yeah, let's get back out here because I was going to show you. There is as far as quality, like fit and finish goes, there is a difference. A PCV seems like a nothing part. But, man, when the Mopar ones came in, I was like, oh, there is a little bit of difference there. So they have the same part number as the one in date night. And so I just ordered 2 of them because the shipping was the same. Now I got to find what I did with them. All right, so here's the difference. So here's the Mopar one. You can see the Pentastar on it. And it's plastic, sort of beveled. And it rattles but the rattle is a lot tighter. It's not really that loose. Versus this is the one that I was running, and it's side to side, way loose. Does that make a difference? I don't know, but there is a difference in the overall fit and finish. The aftermarket one is way looser than the Mopar one. So I don't know, but I know, like I said, coming home the other day, I kept looking in my side mirror. I didn't see any puffs of blue smoke when I left at the red light, the typical places that I'd seen it coming home. I don't know. I'll get back in it tomorrow and head back to work. We'll find out. But the big thing, it's just running fantastic. Now, Monday, I had a job about an hour and a half away. And I was like, all right, well, you know. So I had the truck all loaded down with everything. And I got about, I don't know, 10, 15 miles from home, and the alternator went out, which I had been kind of suspicious of. I'd been watching it on the gauge, but I didn't know if it was the gauge. It was the alternator. It completely quit out. But I was able to turn around and make it back home, loaded everything into the Gladiator, and went on to work, came home, got a new alternator put on it. It's top notch, good to go. So anyway, but yeah, sorry I kind of fell behind on the finishing buttoning up of the intake, guys. I just kind of got it put back together. It's starting to rain now, so I'm gonna get inside, but just wanted to show you kind of a closeout. The truck did clean up good. Man, we have needed this rain. It has been so dry lately. And it's gonna be a good work truck, good clean truck. So anyway, I think the next thing I'm gonna do to it is muffler. The muffler on it is coming apart. It's, I mean, literally rusted and coming apart. The Challenger had two, looks like new MagnaFlow mufflers on it, and they were the same measurements as the factory muffler. So we're probably going to be taking off the factory muffler and installing a MagnaFlow on there. So that'll probably be the next thing we do to the work truck, and get rid of that old rusted out muffler. It is coming down now, and Andrew and the kids are out there taking photos in the field. They're going to be wet. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for keeping up with the channel. We'll see where it goes from here, but we're going to stay with it. And but appreciate you. See you later.